well, let's jump into like the Thunderbolts ending and how in the world this is all going to play together. So, me, just about everybody else, I think, after you watch Thunderbolts, you see that the Fantastic Four ship's coming in the post-credit scene of Thunderbolts, and you're like, oh, that's how it's going to end. They're going to basically abandon their world, and they're going to end up in the 616 right before the incursions start. And I think that it's honestly like, to toot Marvel's horn, I think it's some really good writing, because there were multiple times within this movie that possibility was given, specifically by like Shala Khan, the Silver Surfer, and then over again by both, I think, Ben Grimm and by Johnny Storm, where they say, hey, we should just take him and leave. And I think that's really good writing in a misdirect, that even at that point in the movie, because I had seen Thunderbolts, I was thinking about, oh, they're going to jump on a ship and get out of here. And Galactus is going to destroy the world, but it's not going to matter because they're going to be out to the 616. And that's how it's going to tie in. They didn't do that. And I'm going to just express some theories on why I think they didn't and how I think it'll tie in. And these are going to get big, high level, and I'm sorry about it, but I think it's interesting. So one possible theory is that we're just not there yet, and maybe there is another encounter with Galactus, because Reed shot him, to the end of the end of the universe. Said he's like 1 million years away, but I don't know that I would categorize that. Like, Reed could have said that, and the way that Galactus may be able to move across the universe, how smart he is, how capable he is, all that stuff could not really matter. And Galactus shows back up, does end up destroying the world, and then they get out. I think the more likely option is that, if you know anything about incursions in the comics, what it basically is like dominoes. And I think if you're a Marvel nerd and you're watching this video, you probably know what this is already. But just to explain it, it's like dominoes, and that there are a bunch of universes stacked right side by side. And basically somebody pushes the first one, or whichever one in the middle, and it starts a domino effect where they start hitting into each other. And in the comics, the connection point is Earth. And basically what happens is 2 Earths show up. If one Earth is destroyed, then the universes pass through each other and they both survive. If not, they both hit each other at Earth and both are destroyed. So it brings in like the dilemma of, do you destroy an entire planet's worth of people just so you can survive, or what do you do? But all that to say, there's a theory out there, and I wish I knew who it was because I'd give them credit, that the Doctor Doom that we're going to see in Doomsday is not the one from the Fantastic Four's universe, and it's not one from a universe we've seen. And basically what is happening is that Doctor Doom, being so smart, and if the last theory that I said is true, and he is a future version, bad version of Franklin Richards, then it makes even more sense. Doctor Doom is basically, he was on one of the Earths a long time ago, or recently, but I'd say more likely a long time ago, where an incursion happened. He destroyed the other Earth, and basically what he's been doing is riding incursions. So each time one of the, he's on, we'll use it as an example, he's on Earth 1. When Earth 1 crashes into Earth 2, he jumps from Earth 1 to Earth 2 and destroys Earth 1. And he's basically done that and is building basically like an army of all these Marvel characters, whether it's bad guys, he probably has some good guys. And he's building this army and getting more powerful to where eventually he'll be able to create Battleworld. I think that that's probably a fairly good likelihood. And I think what we could see is that at the beginning of Doomsday, when it comes, that one, either an incursion has already started in the, 828 universe, and Doctor Doom has just arrived and senses that Franklin Richards is there and goes to get him basically, jumps to the new world, the 828 world from whatever one he was on before, and goes to find Franklin Richards because he knows that he might be the key to building Battleworld and to becoming allowing Doom to become like the leader over all of the multiverse and the ruler. And I think we could be in that 4-year time jump, that we could be in the middle of an incursion there, and the Fantastic Four just doesn't know it yet. And then we see that there is some sort of a conflict, and Doom starts to take over 828, Universe 828. And that's when Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four get out, and they pop up in Thunderbolts at the end credit scene. And the Thunderbolts scene may just be a direct lift from Doomsday. I could also see where, and I think this is probably possible as well, and I'm sorry, I'm just throwing theories out here just because I think it's interesting, and there's a bunch of different options. We don't really know anything at this point. I think there is also a chance that, and stick with me here, that the Avengers Doomsday movie is more of a Fantastic Four movie, and it's almost like Fantastic Four 2. And it's centered around Doom, but I think we could see where a majority of the movie is literally picking up from right there, that point that we saw in the post-credit scene of Fantastic Four, and it's telling the story of how conflict begins between Doom and the Fantastic Four, and maybe like 3/4 of the way through the movie, or halfway through the movie, or it could be even more than 3/4, the Fantastic Four gets off of Earth 828 and gets to Earth 616, and what ends up happening is by the end of the movie, Doom has followed them, and the incursions have begun to like basically just wreck everything. So yeah, there's a lot of theories there going a bunch of different ways. I'm sorry about that, but I think there's all a possibility that you just like, who knows. I do think that there's going to be some kind of connection between Doom and Franklin Richards, and I think the incursions thing makes a lot of sense on how Doom could get so powerful to the point where he could assemble Battleworld. The other side of that, and the last theory I'll give you here on this one, is that basically that just hasn't been happening. There have been incursions, but they've been in the far distance, and at the end of the Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange and Clea jump in to go and try to find them, but they're far off and distant. We just haven't seen them yet. And Doom is from the 828 universe, the one that we saw there at the end, and he just realizes, because of all the news and everything in their world, with the Galactus wanting the kid, he realizes that Franklin Richards is super powerful, and he's going to go try to, take his power and use him, which I think is another viable option. I think the way that Marvel's going, they're getting more intricate, not less intricate. So with some of these storylines and stuff, I don't think they're going to be afraid with something as big as Secret Wars to make it a little bit intricate, and kind of do like, I'm going to use this as an example, but like an Inception type plot where you got to watch it multiple times to see it. I would be a little bit more, not upset isn't the right word, but disappointed if they went the easy route of like, Dr. Doom's been in this universe, he rules over Latveria, Fantastic Four's never met him, but Sue's heard that he's like a troublemaker, and then he just pops up in their building. I don't think that would kind of be like a lazy writing thing, which, like I said earlier in this video, Fantastic Four and the through line between them and that movie, the Matt Shakman movie, and their post-credit scene in Thunderbolts, I think is really, really well written, and I would be disappointed to see them go like the easy route after doing so well with that. So yeah, those are two big things, and I know I went for a while there.